What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Well, there's lots of speculation that WrestleMania 36 might not take place in Tampa, or that the WWE has a Plan B. Plan B probably being the Performance Center. Nonetheless, there are some fans who couldn't care less about this year's Showcase of the Immortals, so join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 reasons why fans might skip WrestleMania this year. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Number 1. Fans are still seething over Super Showdown. Now, there's no denying that the WWE Universe is still seething over the decision to take the Universal Championship off The Fiend and place it on Bill Goldberg's shoulders. Many Fiend fans feel the WWE gave up on him after months of developing arguably the hottest character in years. Even worse, yanking the belt off him just weeks before WrestleMania was an extremely poor choice, as the Showcase of the Immortals was perhaps a better venue for the Fiend's first loss. The WWE had options for Goldberg to emerge from Super Showdown without losing, while the Fiend maintained the championship, but instead chose to give Dollar Bill the big win in order to appease its Saudi financiers. It's clear that WWE's penchant for bringing back the stars of yesteryear may be backfiring, largely through how they're using them. Number 2. The senior circuit isn't being used properly. It would be misguided and, to put it blunt, flat out wrong to say that wrestling fans don't like seeing their heroes from yesteryear show up for special appearances. However, as fans saw with 2019's Super Showdown, Extreme Rules and SummerSlam, there are ways to book veterans like Goldberg and The Undertaker the wrong way and the right way. The Super Showdown was a disaster because both wrestlers were weighed down by ring rust and in no condition to perform in dangerously high temperatures. In the end, the fans witnessed a match where neither guy belonged in the ring. Extreme Rules, on the other hand, featured The Undertaker working a tag match where he could hide his age-related weaknesses. Likewise, Goldberg's brief battle with Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam, where the Master of the Zigzag served as Big Bad Bill's crash test dummy, bumped and sold like crazy. Putting Goldberg in a main event title match is likely going to be a disaster, and it poses a dilemma for the WWE. On one hand, the match can't go more than 5 minutes without Goldberg passing out, and on the other, the WWE faces the fans losing their mind at a main event that runs a handful of minutes. While AJ Styles can carry The Undertaker to a passable match, he's still got his work cut out for him, as Taker looks like he just stepped out of a grave, and not in the cool way he did during his early years in the WWF. While AJ Styles pointing this out on his recent Raw promo didn't help the situation any, the real disappointment will be if Taker is incapable of being carried to a decent match. As much as The Undertaker's Extreme Rules match was a redemption for Super Showdown, his upcoming WrestleMania match could be a dismal reminder of who he once was and what he's been reduced to. The WWE's approach to using vintage superstars needs to be reassessed, as some fans feel it's not a selling point for Mania, but a reason to tune out. Number 3. The WWE overbooked itself going into Mania. While it's unknown how much they planned things out with this year's Mania, it's clear the promotion had too many big events going into WrestleMania this year. They aired Super Showdown, then immediately followed up with Elimination Chamber just 10 days later. A show that was surprisingly good, but came too soon after what the WWE considers one of its biggest shows of the year. As the WWE learned when it tried to run more than one pay-per-view a month, there comes a point where even the most die-hard fans will tune out due to burnout. They have burnt out some of its fans, and for that reason alone, they're tuning the promotion's biggest show out. Number 4. The matches don't seem big. Now, with the possible exception of John Cena vs The Fiend, none of the matches announced for WrestleMania seem worthy for the Showcase of the Immortals. Every match on the card seems like it could show up on any of the WWE's pay-per-views, as opposed to last year's WrestleMania, which featured a number of big matches, ranging from Seth Rollins vs Brock Lesnar, Kofi Mania's Kofi Kingston vs Daniel Bryan match, 2 big fatal 4-way bouts for Tag Team Gold, and the no-holds-barred match between Batista and Triple H, and not to mention several others. This year's show is a downright dud, and it seems more like Backlash or Extreme Rules than the WWE show of shows. Number 5. The WWE isn't promoting it well. Fans are puzzled at WrestleMania's lineup, especially in light of the rumors that Vince McMahon is looking to sell the streaming rights to his pay-per-views. If true, he certainly hasn't promoted it right, with Mania a little over 3 weeks away and the show giving fans a little idea what to expect, something we'll look at next. Is number 6, 3 weeks to go and 5 matches? While the WWE has a bad habit of booking their pay-per-views at the last minute, things are downright ridiculous with this year's WrestleMania. If they run Mania as a lengthy 6 or 7 hour show, and they haven't given any indication they're changing things this year, it needs to fill the card with more matches. As we discussed, the WWE hasn't promoted this show well, and right now there are only 5 matches listed. Granted, there are casual fans who tune into WrestleMania regardless of who is wrestling. The WWE still has a large number of fans, even if it continues to dwindle, who will watch it all year and look at Mania as a place where major storylines end and new ones begin. Edge vs Randy Orton, arguably one of the biggest matches for Mania, still hasn't been officially booked, and rumour has it Edge won't be back on Raw until 23rd March. Why a promotion wouldn't take a dream match and book it weekly, especially for lapsed fans who are unaware of Edge's return, is another example of why fans are indifferent to this year's show. Fans know they can expect to see distractions like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the Women's Battle Royal, but it's unlikely many fans tune in to watch these, other than to see whose career will go downhill after winning the Andre Battle Royal. The problem this year is that there's not much for fans to invest their time in so far. It can also be argued the WWE is marketing its product incorrectly. As number 7, the WWE is marketing WrestleMania the wrong way. For a show that is supposed to bring in the most fans, they seem to be marketing this year's Mania in some strange ways. For example, is there much of a market for Rhea Ripley vs Charlotte Flair or Shayna Baszler vs Becky Lynch for that matter? The WWE's approach of booking Shayna Baszler as the women's equivalent of Brock Lesnar killed the main event at Elimination Chamber, with fans bailing out on the match and reports of CM Punk chants. With rumours flying that Becky is taking time off after Mania, her match against Baszler doesn't leave any room for who will win. Looking at the cards so far, you have 2 matches for a small group of fans, an uncertain match between a legend and Roman Reigns, a main event between Brock Lesnar and a wrestler who has waited years to break out, and one big match, Cena vs The Fiend. That leaves one potentially big match, and that could change once the novelty of John Cena's return wears off, and that's a big title match the WWE could easily screw up by having Brock retain against Drew. Number 8, the WWE doesn't have many hot programs going on. Another reason many fans are contemplating taking a pass on this year's Mania is the lack of engaging programs going on. While there's an incredible amount of curiosity about whether The Fiend will go over John Cena, the only match with any meat to it is Drew McIntyre vs Brock Lesnar, as the WWE has done a decent job building up the Scottish Psychopath as a viable opponent for the Beast, and not a doormat as Ricochet was. Nevertheless, what potential matches did the WWE have going into Mania that haven't been done to death over the last few months? Humberto Carrillo vs Andrade is stale, as is Humberto vs Angel Garza. Even with the WWE likely going with Seth Rollins vs Kevin Owens, that feud hasn't had time to build, as the WWE wasted time with Rollins and Murphy defending the tag team titles against the Street Profits. Speaking of which, the Raw Tag Team division has no fresh matchups, especially now that the AOP will be shelved thanks to Akam's recent injury. Once again, the WWE is brimming with talent, yet it has done little to create engaging programs between its stars. Number 9, the show's missing some fan favourites. While the WWE has done a good job rebuilding Roman Reigns' stock as a babyface, the big dog has yet to be tested against an opponent the WWE Universe is invested in, such as The Fiend. It's likely Reigns will be cheered against Goldberg, but speaking of cheers, where are some of the WWE's biggest crowd pleasers? Acts like Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, The New Day and Kevin Owens. They've dropped some hints we'll see KO vs Seth Rollins at Mania, but why haven't they booked its top babyfaces into Mania matches yet? And number 10, the show is missing its celebrity buzz. One thing fans can always count on for WrestleMania is appearances by celebrities, ranging from Z-listers to bona fide stars. Where are the stars this year? Despite rumours of Cain Velasquez returning to a pay-per-view and rumours of boxing superstar Tyson Fury making another appearance after Crown Jewel, there have been no celebrities officially announced. Vince McMahon loves getting mainstream attention for his top show, even if it's lesser entities like last year's appearance by Saturday Night Live performers Colin Jost and Michael Shea. The lack of celebrities is another example of why the WWE just isn't making WrestleMania 36 seem special, in turn giving many fans no reason to tune in this year. But there you have it guys, 10 reasons why fans might skip WrestleMania this year. Are you planning on watching it, skipping it, or just checking out our review? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.